Hello, this is Kate, and this is your weekly Oracle card reading. Today I'm going to be using the Tao Oracle cards, and I just want to get a little bit of an idea of what's coming up this week, what kind of energies we're going to be faced with, and just get a general idea of kind of what's in store for us over the next 7 days. Okay, so I'll start with the first card, and this card's going to represent Monday and Tuesday of this coming week. Okay, and we've got Youthful Folly, and the words in this card are impulsiveness, immaturity, bluffing, ignorance, learning, impatience, and reckless behavior. So as we enter the week, we've got this really kind of exciting youthful card to represent Monday and Tuesday, and it almost kind of reminds me of the Fool. So I think the positive aspect of this card is that it's very exciting. It has that kind of fresh, youthful energy of excitement and risk-taking, and that ability to go out on a limb and walk a fine line and be able to take risks in a way that is exciting for us and not frightening. But the downside of this card is that there's also kind of a warning to be sensible when you're making decisions and be rational. Don't put your head in the sand or be immature or impulsive, and don't let impatience rush you when it comes to making decisions or making big choices. So it's warning that you might be tempted at the beginning of the week to engage in some kind of reckless behavior. So it could be just sort of making rash decisions, or not really putting a whole lot of thought into something, and feeling like you're impatient, you're impulsive. You don't want to take your time thinking something through, so you're feeling like you just want to dive into something without really thinking it through. And sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. So this is just kind of a card letting you know that you might be tempted to engage in that kind of behavior, and you want to be able to learn from past experiences. So look back on past experiences and see what's worked for you, what hasn't, and use the wisdom that you've gained from your past experiences. Okay, and then as we move into the week, so Wednesday and Thursday, we have completion. And this card says final attainment, victory, a crescendo, a job well done, perfection, peak performance, and prudence. So as we see, whatever's happening in the beginning of the week, whatever happens there, it tends to work out for us here. And it's interesting just looking at the two figures. We've got this person kind of with their back to us with their arms outstretched, and then we also have and their legs almost look like they're kind of running, even though they're like balancing. And then we have the runner with his arms outstretched, but he's kind of facing us. So whatever issues you've gotten at the beginning of the week, you're able to turn it around and kind of face it full on. You're able to meet that challenge, and things are going to work out for you. So we've got that sense of victory. So that comes from completing something, doing a job, finishing something. So you might be finishing up a project, or you might be kind of on the tail end of something, whether it's a job or a project or whatever it is. You're kind of finishing things up, and you're kind of getting to the end of things, and it's going to be a very positive kind of feeling. Okay, and I also want to point out, it says here prudence. That's one of the meanings of this card. So it's almost kind of the opposite of this card, in that this is all about kind of immaturity and ignorance and being impulsive, and this is about prudence. So it looks like whatever happens at the beginning of the week, we're able to turn it around in the middle of the week. Okay, and then as we come to the weekend, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I don't know if you can see that card very well, we've got opposition. And this card says opposite viewpoints, personal differences, a communication gap, disharmony, misunderstandings, and estrangement. So I think this weekend there's going to be a real focus on relationships and communication. And here we have the challenge of, there's someone in our life who has a totally different viewpoint than us, and this might be someone that we want to see eye to eye with. We want to be close with them. We want things to work out. We want, there to be harmony, but there's that challenge of attaining that, even though that person might be very different from us in their viewpoint, or maybe they don't understand us, we don't understand them. There's like that big communication gap there, and there could be a lot of misunderstandings, and maybe this person takes things really personally, or maybe you take things personally when they say things to you. So there's that sense of being wrapped up in your own ego when you're communicating with someone else, and being extra sensitive to things that they say. And if this continues, it can lead to estrangement. So this could, I think, if you continue being wrapped up in your own ego when you're communicating with this person, and sooner or later down the road, you're just going to drift apart. So I think that there's a real challenge here to really connect with this person and find a way to communicate with them, even though that you guys are really not on the same page. And this card is just a reminder that it's always possible to still maintain a certain level of intimacy or closeness and understanding with someone, even if you don't share the same beliefs or the same goals or opinions or whatever. So I think this weekend will be definitely about relationships and communication, and always remembering, I think, when you're communicating with someone else, the importance of at least trying to understand their point of view, even if you don't agree with it, and even if it's not your point of view, at least kind of putting in the effort to try to kind of see where they're coming from. And even if you can't do that, just accepting. I think that's the key, is acceptance, just accepting that they have a different viewpoint than you. And sometimes you can tire yourself out if you try to convince this other person to see things your way. And I think this card is basically, the message here is, don't do this. Don't exhaust yourself trying to sway another person into seeing your point of view. That's just a waste of time for you. I think you want to put your energy into clear communication, and you want to focus on acceptance and accepting this person exactly as they are without trying to change them. And this can be super hard if if this person has a lot of qualities that really trigger you or that you don't like. But the key here really is accepting this person as they are, and then communicating whatever your needs are in a way that's like very clear, very non-judgmental, making it really clear to this person what you're needing from them. So making it really crystal clear, what it is that you want, and then inviting them to do the same, inviting them to tell you what it is that they're wanting from the relationship, and doing your best to listen to them, let them say what they want to say, and really take your time to consider what they've said without judging or immediately getting triggered by what they're saying. So just taking a quick step back at these three cards, it looks like we've got a really interesting week coming up, actually, because we start off feeling maybe kind of rushed or impulsive. We might feel like there's a certain sense of danger there, like we have to make a choice, or everything's going to fall apart. And this is reminding you it's okay to take your time. You want to think things through, be mature, use your wisdom here. Don't be reckless or silly. But at the same time, establish a real sense of trust too, because that's important as well. And then as we move into the week, we've got completion. So you're finishing something up, you've attained something, there's something worth celebrating in the middle of the week, whatever that is. It could be something huge, it could be something really small, but either way, there's definitely a celebration in the middle of the week here. And then as we move towards the weekend, we come right kind of smack dab in the middle of relationship issues, and we're challenged with communication and maintaining closeness with another person. So I hope you found this helpful. My name is Kate, and thank you for joining me.